I'm looking at Shaun Rooney, Kevin Van Veen, Jaden Brown. Those are things that come out of left field that you don't expect. Are those the things that you still stick in your mind and say, look, I might have things like that to deal with that can derail us?
I didn't think I'd have three of them to deal with, I have to say. And three of them within, I think it was a 3-week period. So usually probably in your management career, you get one situation like that. And it was a really tough situation for everybody, for the board to make decisions. For Keith, it was Keith's first year as chief executive as well. So, you've got to make all those decisions. And for the players as well, there's a personal element to that as well. Everyone makes mistakes in life. And we've had to deal with it. And I think everyone's looking at you to lead it, and you walk in the morning and the players are looking to see your reaction to it and your take on it. And you just have to, as you say, try and treat everything the same. As much as in the background it might be crazy, you've got to remain calm and try and deal with the situation as best you can. And the only way to do that is focus on what you can control. And we did. Well, the only thing we can control is the football pitch, team selection, fitness, and our standards on the pitch. So I tried to solely focus on that. And I have to say the board were very good with me on that. And Keith Lasley. Keith Lasley wishes he was Keith Gillespie, actually, because he never had Keith Gillespie's pace. And Jim Gillespie as well, obviously, for leading the board and making them decisions. And they took it out of my hands. I was told, concentrate on football. And I was able to do that and deal with the players in front of me.
Did you feel a little personal responsibility, though? Because I would totally and utterly get why you bring certain players in, because you think sometimes the train stops with a bit of opportunity or a player that might be a standard above what you can attract normally.
Yeah, and I think all three players were. I believe if you've been at a football club for 3 years, something has to change. So whether the manager changes, which is the usual aspect of football, or you reinvent the squad and you reinvent your style, which I've done at Motherwell a couple of times. And we brought Kevin in because we didn't think we knew what a goal scorer he was, if we could get him right. Jaden gave us more of a winger type situation as wing back instead of being quite rigid with our 3-5-2. And Shaun, was a proven SPFL player, could get up and down, added lots of goals from that area of the pitch. So that was our freshness. Our freshness all of a sudden was gone. And you feel a personal thing to the players as well. As you say, I brought them in. You couldn't write a book that would tell you these three things would all happen in one situation. But it's out of your control. These things happen in life. They're young men. They make decisions. They make mistakes, rightly or wrongly. And people have to make the decisions above me, and they did. And they were decisive with the decisions, and we handled it.
Yeah, absolutely.